First up, we're going to have Bharati from SeedFund. Bharati, can you come up? Bharati has been with she's actually been with SeedFund for quite a bit of time. SeedFund, I will let her tell you more about SeedFund itself. And Bharati, before we get started, couple of quick questions. Can you give them a little bit of background about where do venture capitalists get money from? Does it grow on trees and do you pluck it down? Or do you just dig it up somewhere and get it? Where do venture capitalists get money from?
I wish it was growing on trees. Can anybody hear?
Can you guys hear her? No?
No. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought there was something called money plant where the money grew, but it obviously doesn't grow on money plant.
Bharati, they want you to come here. They can't see you.
Can't help it, yeah. My genetics.
Shall I get a chair? That's better.
Sorry, I'm short. I can't help my genetics. I didn't make that choice. I think we investors, we raise funds from other investors who are what we call LPs, limited partners. They're essentially large endowments, funds, university pensions, university endowments, family offices, people with a whole lot of money who have money in billions, where they make allocation into different asset class. So they may start with venture fund allocation, which is considered the riskiest, go all the way up to treasury bills, which is considered the least risky. So we, just like an entrepreneur comes to us to raise funds, we are also entrepreneurs who go and raise funds from investors. We have to talk about our strategy, we have to talk about our team, we have to talk about our markets. Exactly the way you do, we go and raise our funds as well.
Last question, Bharati. Do they have some expectation of return? And when do they expect to get money back? Just like entrepreneurs are expected to return money, do they have expectations of you as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's no free lunch, there's no free ride. So when somebody gives you money, they do expect returns. And again, it's dependent on the asset class. People who invest in very early stage funds, what we call seed stage funds or Series A funds, they expect much higher returns because they're taking a much higher risk. And in terms, we don't promise anybody any returns, but it is an obligation that we have when we raise funds that we must make good returns for them, that we need to work hard to do that. In terms of time period, I think by and large, most of the funds will have a life that they define to their LPs. They will say, we expect to, the fund has a life which could be 7 to 9 years. By and large, that's the range. Because you take 2 to 3 years to make investments, and then the following 2 to 3 years, you start returning, you start sort of looking at exiting the investments that you've made.
Fair enough. Please get started. You'll have the mic for presentations like that. The clicker is right here.
I guess Subhen who started this, as you mentioned, a few months ago, and I thought reverse, which was a fancier name, was just us telling you why you should talk to us. I think specifically to SeedFund, I think because you're targeting New India, a New India that's very edgy, that's confident, that's not looking to the West, that is not looking to compromise on quality, on any service product, that wants the best that the world has to offer, that the technology has to offer. Because you want to create new sectors, because you want to create sectors that don't exist, you want to create new markets using technology, you want to be you don't want to really copy and paste the model that's available. You want to be original. You want to think what is right for India and the Indian consumers. You talk to us, to SeedFund, because you don't have revenues. We invest in pre-revenue companies. We invest in early revenue companies. About close to 50% of our portfolio investments that we made are, none of them had revenues, any revenue when we invested. And you talk to us because we are a partner. We, as a SeedFund, we are a partner who understand what it is to execute in India. All the three partners, that's Praveen Gandhi, Mahesh, and myself. We've all been in India, worked in India. We are here as consumers. We are here as people who created businesses, either for somebody else or for ourselves. And because we believe that despite all the political traffic jam that is there in India, and that was there in US till yesterday or till early this morning, It is really a once in a millennium time for India. It is a time that we can create solutions to solve all the problems, think out of the box for the problems that we face as a country, and who best than any entrepreneur? Only entrepreneurs can really lift this country out of all the mess that it is in. The other reason you want to talk to us is because you'll meet fellow entrepreneurs who will inspire you, who have thought differently, who have created valuable companies, who are fun to work with, who will teach you a lot, and with whom you can share. And some of our fellow entrepreneurs that who have created companies are Carvale, that was really first of its kind. Red Bus, that is the first of its kind, which created a new sector. Carvale, that created a new sector. Sportskeeda, I mean, that's again creating a new sector in India. That's going non-cricket, that's talking to the young Indian who is interested not in cricket, not just in cricket, interested in football, in basketball, in badminton, in golf, in any of the sports. You're talking to Hekel, founder who wants to beat Bloomberg at its terminal or providing information to financial traders, who's saying that today, it's not just about collecting information, financial information that's available publicly, but it's also about social media, or that the company's profile is created as much by the social media chatter as by the financial numbers. Or you can meet digital comics entrepreneurs who are creating the first digital comic character for India. We really don't have a comic character in India, and this is really a good time to create one. Enos, which Deepak said, why is it that only smartphones must have internet access? Why can't feature phones have internet access? And that's what Enos does. I don't know how many of you have used 55444, which essentially provides you internet access information on by SMS. Some of our other friends in the SeedFund family, Done by None, that's creating a new brand for women's wear. Again, talking to the new India, talking to the young India, talking to the India that's saying, I do not necessarily want only Zara or H&M or Fab India, and I need a brand that expresses me better than anybody else. EduSports, that's sort of trying to make all our kids in India healthier, less obese, fitter. Who are we? Just brief background. The SeedFund was, we are actually about 6 years old now. The 1st November was our 6th birthday. And Praveen, Mahesh and I started the fund. We have close to 26 companies in our portfolio. We have had some very good exits, some not so good exits. And we have in all over 100 years of operating experience, 45 years of investing experience. We are right around the corner with offices in Bombay, Bangalore and Delhi. You don't have to believe what I say or what Mukund said earlier about SeedFund. You just have to talk to any of our entrepreneurs and get a greater detail on SeedFund and what we do. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take questions now because I probably have to leave by 4:30.
I've got 3 or 4. Okay. And by the way, just to let you know, I've told few people, but not all. As and when questions, you can either stay away because of the double. You can tweet your questions. You can ask your questions directly to me, or you can even send me email. All of those ways. I've got 2 questions, and then raise your hand if you have questions. Why don't I go here and then I'll go here? Just shout out loud. I'll repeat them.
Yeah. What is the ticket size of the seed funding basically you do?
What is the ticket size?
We do anywhere from in startups that what we call really very young, very early stage, where it might just be a business idea. With no team and just a PPT, we may do a 1 crore, 2 crore kind of investment. In a little more mature team, early revenue companies, we might do a $2 million, about 8 to 9 crore.
Yeah.
Are you location specific? You expect your investees to be in the same place where you have offices?
Okay.
We like to, we prefer that by and large, but we have done investments outside as well.
Got one at the back, or should I go back to my Twitter? Yeah, go ahead.
We are sort of somewhat biased to India markets, so and we're biased towards B2C. I mean, we also do B2B companies, but there is a certain bias inherent in our team. So we look at education, internet, retail, cloud, software as a service, any of those.
Okay, one question which came up, e-commerce. Yes. What is your perspective now on e-commerce? And would you still invest in an e-commerce company? They're doing about 20 lakhs in revenue apparently.
Yes, e-commerce, I think, is here to stay. There is no denying what e-commerce, the value of e-commerce. What has happened is a lot of e-commerce companies have spoiled the Indian consumer. Now, when we go to an e-commerce site, we expect a certain discount. If we don't give a discount, we walk away. So right now, the people who are buying online on e-commerce are by and large discount seekers, so who will go to the next best discount giver. There would be a segment that would come, which is buying for convenience. And I think over a period of time, those are when that consumer becomes large, I think there'll be a viable model. But yes, we will look at e-commerce.
Go ahead, you go ahead.
Out of the 26 companies which you have equity in, what is the minimum percentage and what is the maximum percentage which you...
Can you repeat the question?
His question is, what's the minimum percentage we hold and what's the maximum we hold? I wouldn't have the exact answer, but it would be a significant minority. It would definitely be over 20%, won't be below 20%.
Yeah, last question. What is the...
Any one of us. If you get onto our website, you'll find all the email addresses.
Last question, how long does it take from the time you have got a presentation, I guess, till the time when they actually decide to fund or fund the company, both?
I think I would suggest more from first meeting.
Okay.
That's more appropriate question because sometimes you don't manage to meet people for different schedules. It could be as soon as a week that we would decide to fund or not fund, or it could take a couple of months. It really depends on what kind of a business plan it is, how prepared we are to understand the business plan, how prepared the entrepreneur is to share the information. So all the investments committee, everybody is here in India, so we don't have to go out for any meeting.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Bharati.
Thank you very much.
Just a reminder for you guys again, 7 best questions get gift vouchers from us. And who makes the decision of the best question? Me. If you want to bribe me, I'm fine with that also. Okay. Retweet Mukund, that's also fine.